Oh, wait, there we go. Can you hear me? All right, cool. Cool. What's going on? Let me invite, let me stick that in there. Whatever. Kyle, you got yourself nice little building area there, Bob. That's how we start our morning. You come in here just to be a smart butt, or are you gonna come in? Let's go. I don't even know if I got this figured out right here. So what's going on, man? You been burning packs of what, dude? I haven't. It's warming up though. We're balmy like 20 degrees here the last couple days, so it's looking pretty good. Who else is in here? It says that there's 2 people. Who else is here? Show yourself. Yeah, it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be like almost 40 degrees here come Wednesday. Hey, Crowley, what's happening? I think I see you down there. It's supposed to be like almost 40 degrees here come Wednesday.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's happening? I think you got almost 40 degrees here come Wednesday. I think you got to mute your YouTube. Or is it mine? It ain't mine. Mine's muted.
How about now?
Yeah. That's great.
Does it match with my heels going up and down?
Did you move the computer around?
Yeah.
I was gonna say back behind you looks a little different.
Well, it's not finished yet because I think what I'm gonna do is move the actually I'm gonna put on my hat because I look better with my hat on when I get a hat on.
There you go.
So yesterday, so I'm hanging out with the wife and I said to her, I'm like, you want to pain in the asses when I get us set up to work on a drone, it literally takes me 30 minutes plus to get all the equipment out that I need because everything's put away, you know what I mean, in boxes or on shelves or in different parts of the house. So it takes me half hour, 45 minutes sometimes, especially if I'm in the mood for it, I can get it done real quick. If I'm not, I'm like, you stupid drones. And then, so I figured every time I set up to do the drones and break down, I spend an hour to an hour and a half of finding the parts and taking it down and cleaning the area because I use a kitchen table for my area. I said to her, is there any way you go, I can just put this in the house? Because my son who's living with us, he'll move out eventually once he's settled and he's going on his own and doing his thing. But it could be a couple of years. It could be 6 months. I don't know.
Right.
But it's probably going to be a couple of years because it just is. So, and I'm like, I'm going to have to do this for a couple of years. It's a pain in the neck. Can I just hang up my drones in the house too? And all of a sudden she's like, yeah, let's do something. I was like, really? I'm like, all right, what are we going to do?
Right.
And I took my whole area. Now, where you see right now in my background, that's where my computer was. I'm now where that China cabinet was.
So
I mean,
this
yeah, where that was. So this is what it looks like now. What's happening? And then, so I got a couch in my room, in my workshop. I have a China cabinet in my workshop. And I have one of those corner things. And there, see, I can only go so far with it. That's where my drone desk is now.
Nice.
So I can keep my solder stuff out. I can keep everything out and ready. I'm just going to put it neatly or find like a tool holder or something just so I can hold it. And that's my area now.
Nice.
Until my son ends up moving and I take his room over.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's awesome. You need all your stuff in one spot, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Just sit there and pull it out from under the bed, on top of the armoire, in the baker's mat rack.
Right.
And I know where everything is, but like I went through and cleaned it the other day and all of a sudden I forget. I'm like, well, I don't remember where everything is now, you know?
Right. Right. You know what comes in handy are these things.
That's what I'm looking for.
See, I got them all labeled, and
I need those.
You need those because those freaking things come in handy. And I got some, there's a double drawer down there. There's some more like over there. Yep. I got everything stashed in drawers.
Yeah, I just need a small, see, like under my bottom shelf, I was just going to keep work in progress in my headgear. But I'm thinking if I put that under there and put those shelves, stackable shelves there.
Yeah.
And on the other side where you see that wrench sticking out, the handle.
Yeah.
I was thinking about putting them there stacked up a little bit too. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the thing is, like my wife's not into drones themselves. She likes a drone. Like she wouldn't do it herself, but she just, it doesn't look right all of a sudden when you walk in and you have your kitchen with drones all around it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this works out perfect. You can't even see it from the kitchen. In the room, it opens the room up wicked.
So and, that room that you're in right there isn't like a family room. It's just like a.
Yeah, that's my living room door, where the bedrooms are.
Yeah.
That's right. That's the living room door where the bedrooms are. This is like a family room, and nice. There's my kitchen.
That's awesome.
Well,
it's always nice to have your own personal little space. Keep all your things
in the kitchen, making me dinner and stuff. She can bring it here and serve me here.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's always nice to have your own personal space when it comes to building and putting your things together, you know, because it's like, you know, Amy hardly ever comes in here because she doesn't care about. I mean, she cares that I'm happy with what I'm doing.
Right.
Because, I mean, to be honest with you, man, it's keeping me sober.
Exactly. And that's
I don't really care who knows that, but this right here, this is what keeps me sane.
Right.
You know?
My wife knows that now. And so she'll come up. Now she can come out on the computer while I'm working on something or doing something. And we're sitting right together, you know, or she goes on the couch and reads a book. And well, I got tunes in here. I got my computer right beside me. So I have Beta Flight, all my BLHeli. Everything's right beside me now. I don't have to walk in another room to go get it.
I like that shirt.
I know it says Drone Life, but it's a GEPRC. I forget what drone that is. It's,
did you get that? Did you get that from someone or did you buy it?
No, I bought it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm trying to get my wife to buy it. Well, I can't because I got this drone that I'm just like in love with. and I wanted to get these shirts, and the guy was selling the shirts. It was 10 of them for $70, which is a steal, and they're all drone shirts. So like Joshua Bardwell, who I listen to and watch all the time, DEPRC. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of drone people shirts. No Mr. Crowley shirts. I only have one of those now.
Nice, man. That shirt's cool. I never see drone shirts anytime I go into a store.
Well, a lot of times they have designs. You don't just have this. This I ordered from, I think it was from Amazon or drone. I can't remember where I ordered it from.
Yeah.
But it was a gift from one of my kids. They were getting me a shirt and they got me a gift card and I got it.
Nice.
So that's what I want to change my attire anyway. So I'm thinking about grabbing these 10 shirts from this guy because I mean it'll save double the price, you know, or half the price.
Yeah. Awesome.
What have you been up to, man?
Not much. We found out that somebody we're pretty close to was exposed to COVID the other day, so I had to go down and I told my boss about it, and I went down and he told me to go home and kind of quarantine and get tested. So
Right.
I hooked myself up with a test, and I went and got tested Friday, and it came back negative. So we're waiting on Amy to get tested, and I'm out of work until at least tomorrow.
We know this guy that he's kind of he's not really the best health. He doesn't take care of himself, but he gets around fine and stuff like that. And we're not friends with him, but we just know of him, you know.
Yeah.
And, he went into the hospital because he's like, I feel funny, you know, I'm just not feeling right. And he tested positive for COVID. 2 days later, he died. I was like, and then like my aunt died of it. My cousin got it. They put him into a. This is why, like, I can't believe these people that say it doesn't exist. It's not real. They died.
Right. I know.
My cousin went in there, and when they put him in a medically induced coma to put him on the breathing machine, he had to learn how to walk afterwards and all types of stuff. It like had a major effect on his brain. It's just crazy, you know. I'm talking to people from around the world, and they're all in like real lockdown. They're not in lockdown where people going to stores and buying sandwiches at the local pizza place. They're in like lockdown where you can go get medication, gasoline, and food. You know,
right?
It's crazy.
What do the numbers look like in Massachusetts? I mean, do they seem to be going down? Or?
It did slow down. It seemed like every day was the highest day of deaths, or being contagious.
Yeah.
Or getting it, I should say, whatever that word is I'm searching for. But anyways, that's started to go down. Then it was kind of like peaking up again and then going down, peaking up. Now it's kind of like gone down, and it's been pretty not low because there's a lot of people of it, but there's been lower amounts of death, which is the key thing, you know.
Yeah.
Who cares if you get it as long as you don't die?
Yeah, right. Exactly. We had our worst day was like probably 3 weeks ago where we had like 500 or 600 cases in one day.
Wow.
And that was like the worst day. And now yesterday it was just like 100 and something positive cases and like one new death. Well, things seem to be going down. But, you know, a lot of these people around here, because I work in retail now, you know, warehouse, and I'm around people all day long. And, you know, there's all your naysayers out there that this thing's fake and blah, blah, blah. And just because Maine has been doing so well through the whole thing, I mean, we've been lucky, man. We really have up here, but it's out there, man. I mean, it's right across the street from me. You know what I mean?
Right.
You just got to be careful. That's all there is to it. And then there's Amy works with a couple of people that are like, oh, it's fake. It's, you know, there's nobody. It's just, well, it's like, no, man, there's people dying. You know?
It's crazy, it really is. I'm trying to put my chat up.
Yeah, I mean, I just used the StreamYard chat. I got the other chat over on the other monitor. But,
Yeah.
well, you know, it's hard to keep up with it right now. There's over 5,000 people in here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I thought you were at 4,692, but I wasn't sure. So just bear with me if for any reason I forget.
I just got my 13,000 subscriber yesterday. So
Nice, dude. Nice. You did get up to that, huh?
yeah, hit my goal. I wanted to do it before Christmas, but
Man, it happens. Yeah. Dude, it's so funny. I was at like 850 a couple of years ago, and I'm just under 700 now.
Yeah. I've been at like 682 for 2 years. And then it'll go to and then somebody will sub me, so I'll sub them back, and then they'll unsub me. You know, so they're only doing it for the sub.
Right.
I mean, I don't get 682 views per video. You know, so it's like I'm to the point to where I just do YouTube and fly and do and create for myself. You know, I'm gonna share it with everybody. Yeah, but if you don't like what I'm doing, then whatever. I could care less. You know.
Oh, there.
But it's so, you know, it's so hard with what we do, Sean, because there's a million FPV flyers out there. You know?
Yeah, that's where I give up on like trying to like there's people that try to make a huge. I don't ask a thing from anybody. I don't ask for like I don't have, and I understand because some people put a lot of time and effort into their channel. Like when I see somebody like Bardwell and what he does, he puts up stuff every other day, or if not every day, on how to fly, how to manage your drone, how to check out different drones that are out there, different parts that are out there. He does a really good job, and I understand why like somebody like that has like a YouTube channel that you can donate money to and stuff like that to keep his channel going. Me, just more like this isn't, and that's his career. That's his job that he's chosen, you know, and he's really good at it. So whatever Bardwell gets, he deserves. But like for me, it's like I don't have that full knowledge. I'm actually going on here to learn stuff. You know what I mean? To ask people things, and also things that I might find that interesting for other people to use, or things that like I did wrong that would help a newbie to not do. Stop them from going that road. And what new toys do I have? What new drones? What modifications? What fixed repairs that I've done? That type of shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're at 6,982 now. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, you're right. I mean, there's people all over YouTube and the internet that are flying quads and going out and having a good time. And anytime I have a question, I either go to Bardwell or just type it in the search bar, and he's always the first one that pops up. You know, because he's got so many how-to videos out there. It's incredible. The
video on almost everything I could think of, but the stuff that he doesn't, I've messaged him a few times because I have his phone. We talk and stuff before we go to bed and check in with each other and make sure everything's going well. No, but
coming over.
When I message him and ask him an actual question in like less than a day, sometimes it's hours, he gets back to me and he either gives me a solution or steers me in the right direction.
Right.
It's unbelievable, you know what I mean? So his plate's got to be full. Plus, he has a little kid at home too. Like he has a young one. I don't know how old his son is, but he's like above infant. He's like right there at infant age.
Right. You know, and for guys like us, there's a lot involved as far as when you get ready to go out, you got video on your mind. You know, like that's like me. When I go out and fly, I know I'm going to upload a video. So you got batteries you got to charge, your camera batteries, your drone batteries, your QX7 batteries, you know, your GoPro batteries. And if one of those, if you forget an SD card, You know, you got to make sure you got everything rocking and rolling before you even walk out the door. It's a lot of work, man, to do YouTube, and I can only imagine what Bardwell's got wrapped up.
Exactly.
You know, because he's not just one of those guys that goes out and just puts up footage from his quad. He's got several different cameras, several different angles going on. And it's like Bot Grinder too. He'll put a camera right in front of him and he'll videotape himself with his goggles down. And then in the upper corner, you can see his flight footage. Down in the lower corner, you can see him just standing there and he's talking about the flight and how this thing runs. And it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, Bot Grinder too. He's another one, like he puts stuff out there, problems that he has. He shows you his mistakes or the errors of the equipment and stuff like that. He does a great job flying. You know what I mean? Like he's an excellent pilot.
I like
and Boswell's an awesome pilot also. I mean, these guys are really good and know how to control their shit, you know?
Yeah, I like Bot Grinder a lot because I love his I don't give a crap attitude.
Well, it's not even that. He's brought himself from a level that I can relate to, where there's a hard time that people are in life, and the droning actually helped bring him out of that negative situation.
Absolutely.
Not that I'm speaking for him, you know what I mean? But it's just his story that he's shared with us, and I can understand that, you know what I mean? It's the same way I got into it for a certain reason, and it's pretty cool. It's interesting, and a lot of people like that. It's almost, there was somebody that put out I forget the name of it. It was some video of how they their story about how they got better in life because they started droning, how things changed. They got off the drugs, they got away from the fighting, away from the negative stuff, focused on their family, themselves. They flew, they got better, they learned stuff, and it becomes awesome. And then you meet people who are doing the same thing. So all those negative things that you used to be involved with or do, not that I did anything, has now it's not an interest to you anymore. You get something that's much stronger than that, a desire or a pull, a force that is much more interesting. I mean, with drones, I no matter what happens with the FAA, I have no intentions of ever stop flying.
No.
I don't care. I mean, if I have to go to a field or woods where nobody's at and fly, I don't care what the situation is. No matter what, I am going to fly. I will try to do it legally, try to do it, meet all the rules and stuff like that. But I am going to fly for a long time.
Yeah, they're not going to stop anybody.
No, I don't think that's their intention is to stop FPV. I think that they just didn't understand it. You know, I really do.
I think another big part of it too is the state and local governments are realizing that there's money to be made out there, and they're missing out on all of this. And it's sad to say, but if we got to go out and put remote ID in all of our quads and pay a monthly freaking subscription to be able to fly, guess where this money's going? The state and government, and that's what they're after, man. That's why
they make you register your drones, even your little ones, but you don't have to follow certain rules. You know what I mean? Like your rules are still on under 250, you can fly in many areas, as long as the town allows you to and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you still have to register drones, and even if you don't have a serial number, they just want that money, and at the same time they get that. Okay, he's accountable because he's listing all his drones, or she. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's all money. You know that. It's just, look at that. The companies that are pushing the FAA to limit the drone pilot from flying because they don't want their drones to get damaged. They want to own the air, which they can't, but that's what they really do. They want to own the airwaves 400 feet and under.
Yeah.
And they don't have to follow those rules. One is the military has no rules they have to follow. Right. And then the companies don't have to follow the same rules that we do. They can take a drone and fly it 50 miles away. There's nothing that says they can't. All those rules are strictly for us.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute, these guys haven't even done it before. They're just coming in trying to make money and monopolize on this.
Yeah. And you know, the thing is the people that I think about the most through all of this is guys like Bardwell, guys like Steele and Drib and Bott and all those guys that this is their full-time job.
Right.
To bring us new product, to give us awesome, clear, no shit, excuse my language, reviews about should you buy this or shouldn't you buy this? And now that is it's gonna stomp on that.
Right.
You know, if companies are gonna be able to, SP Racing ain't gonna continue to make flight controllers unless they're FAA approved and got remote ID and all that.
That's
I mean,
great.
These guys are making good money off of us.
Right.
I don't have a problem helping to support them. But if this passes, all of these poor companies and poor people.
Except for the remote ID couldn't end up being not that big of a deal. Well, I'm not talking about the other rules that come with it. I'm talking about the rules of actually having remote ID on your drone, because they're talking that they can put a beacon. You could buy one beacon, and as long as you're flying it on whatever drone you're flying, that's your remote ID. That's all your information there. So that beacon has all your information.
Right.
I don't agree with like where you can fly and to be stuck to a FRIA, which is that airspace that's owned by.
You got to go to certain fields and stuff.
Yeah, that's freaking ridiculous. When I'm barely going above a treetop. You know, so next time when I'm down in Plymouth, you know, enjoying the sun, and I'm going to take down the plane that's below our. No, I'm not going to take down the plane, but there's these planes that fly by our cliff, and they actually fly below the cliff level. It's like with these racing planes, and
yeah,
like, really, and I have to take this little drone and register it and not fly in.
Yeah,
and we own the property. If we own the property, I'm flying there.
Absolutely. You should, you know, in my opinion, is if you're on public land, like up here, man, there's acres and acres of it. And every time I go flying, the only people that are out there are me, Amy, and my damn dog.
Yep.
If somebody might drive down the dirt road, somebody might once in a while come over and say, "Hey, what's that you're doing?"
Right.
But I'm not out there bothering anybody. I'm not crashing off people's houses. I'm not bouncing off people's vehicles. So leave me alone. That's how I feel. And I'm never going to stop flying wherever I want, whenever I want. I don't care what the FAA or the federal government says about it. YouTube.
I put up a video. I was flying my Maverick Pro down in the Cape, well, like on the border of the Cape. It's like exit 2 or exit 1 actually before you go over the bridge. And while I'm flying, I wasn't over anybody. I was over the water. But when you look down, like the people were down below here, and there's me flying like that. Well, also I see people throwing rocks at my drone or throwing shit at my drone. I'm like, did I just see that? I turned around and I flew back to where that was, and there's a guy there throwing rocks at it. Well, then I sat there for a minute. I'm like, this guy's an asshole. So I went up a little further, and there's these kids throwing rocks at my drone. I got kind of pissed. You know, I didn't do it in any violent way or instigation, but I ended up coming back, and I was all upset. I landed the drone. I'm like, this is like freaking ridiculous. These people are actually throwing it. I got a warning from the FAA that it was over people. Obviously, somebody called and complained, and then I challenged it, even though it was only a warning. And I'm like, I wasn't over people. And then they came back and said, listen, it was close. It looks like you could have been. And now the rule is you can be over people anyways.
How did they get a hold of you?
Through my YouTube page. Through my email. And then they contacted, they got my name, and then they went through the FAA, got names in Massachusetts that match up with mine. And I mean, not the FAA. The FAA did some, I don't know how they search, but they can get your information. So if you have your email anywhere, they can get that information.
So was there anybody around you that when you were flying that day that knew who you were?
No, everybody that I knew was on the cliff with me. I was like a half mile up the street. And I guess
I just don't understand how they.
The guy came up to the house. And he's like, started telling me, he goes, my wife's out there, my kids are out there. And I'm like, dude, I was flying over the beach. And then, of course, I had to refrain. I tried to refrain, but I didn't say the right words. I ended up like kind of sparking this thing. And my in-laws were all upset. They're like, can you please not fight with somebody?
Yeah. Well, yes, we've got this weekend. You must know who Ricky Craven is.
No.
He used to drive for NASCAR.
Oh, yes. I know. Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Well, every year he does an ice fishing derby up here on Moosehead Lake.
Oh, cool.
He just kind of sponsors it, and people go out and they enter the tournament and you win prizes, whatever. Right. Well, they're doing that this weekend. And me and Amy took a ride over by we call it the Junction Wharf, because there's a wharf that goes out onto Moosehead Lake, and they take their snowmobiles out there and they do ice racing on the lake. Right. And all. Dude, there were 3 drones up in the air that I could see, and they were all flying over people. There was a crowd out there like you wouldn't believe, and all of these people were breaking the law.
Right.
Nobody said anything. It wasn't bothering anybody. You look up in the sky, there was a drone. You look over there was a drone, but everyone was like, oh, cool, look at that.
Well, right now, there's nothing. They can't tell that you're up there doing that. What they look for is if you publicize a video, if you put it online for people to see. And if somebody complains, they give you a date and time, and they go back and make sure it's the same date and time. You just went wicked blurry.
Yeah, I know.
Like there's a ghost in there. Hello. Hello. Yes, I'm going to do my show tonight at 8 p.m. Just basically talk about the stuff that we talk about here. And I get my new main drone, even though I can't fly because I don't have Crossfire and I don't have 5S batteries yet, but I can't fly anyways right now. So that's all coming.
You built a 5S quad?
No, it's a pre-built, but it's pretty cool.
You show me it.
I didn't want to show it this morning because I'll show her. I don't care what the fuck.
There's only 2 people in here.
It's an Armaton, dude. Marmot.
Nice.
From the factory. I love the titanium cage, and it rotates like over 40. It's awesome.
What's that got for motors on it?
It's got the Underdogs, the 2306 2150. It's made for 5S. It has TBS VTX in it. It has in the new one. I'm trying to think. Cameras Foxair 3 or 5. I have Foxair 3, I think it is, or 5, whatever the new one is. And the camera is excellent. It's just the whole thing, the weight of it, and I gotta take these things off.
Did you build that?
What?
Did you build that?
No. So what happened was, this guy was selling this online for like $50 cheaper. If you bought this with what it has for guts inside of it, it's like $460 from Armaton.
Yeah.
But it's not nice. Everything's nice. Like, look at even the solder joints. I mean, every solder joint's like perfect. And I got it for less than half that. And it was funny because I kept seeing them up there, and I threw out an offer, and they denied it like right away. And I was just like, whatever. And then all of a sudden I saw he put it up again for a lower price, just like a few bucks lower. And I'm like, I offered even a lower price than what I bidded. And I said, listen, I'm going to buy a drone in like 10 minutes. Just let me know either way. It's okay. I understand if you don't want. And he accepted it. Nice. So I got this for less than what it would cost for motors in the frame.
Awesome. What does that have for an FC in it?
It has an F4 CO Racing.
Nice.
Set up with Betaflight 4.1. I can't remember what number it was, but it's all set up. Yeah.
See, I'm stuck on the four individual ESCs. I think I'll always build like that.
Well, I really have no problem with because I like to put the race wires with the lights on here.
Yeah.
So all mine are 4-in-1, except for a 3-inch, 3-inch. Yeah, except for 3-inch. Everything else is now 4-in-1 in this.
Nice. Yeah. Awesome. What do you usually use for your HD footage? Do you have a GoPro or anything?
I do. I have a GoPro. I have 1080p DVR on my Hawk 5, which I like because I don't have to have a GoPro, you know. But I bought a cheap one, and I don't really like how I don't think it's really 1080p because to me it doesn't look as good. The GoPro just looks phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
And I put that on my Chameleon, and the Chameleon I'm gonna upgrade because the Chameleon has a little more weight, and it goes through batteries really fairly quick. So I'm thinking about just upgrading that one to either a 5S or a 10S. If it was a 5S, it's just to get so that I have several drones that fly 5S. But I really wanted to put that at 6S, and just because it's all set up for it, I just got to change the motors and buy new batteries.
Nice.
And then I'm at a 6S Chameleon, 6-inch Chameleon, which would then at that point, that would eliminate the sag I'm getting at the end of the batteries. Because that's what I found out. I built up a couple of 6-inch drones, and I'm finding that when I'm cranking on them, forget the cold drops me down to like a minute and a half of flight time.
Yeah.
When I'm cranking on it, normally, as soon as I start to hit the end of that battery, it has some power, but it's dragging. It's like the sag that they talk about. So that's why I was going to go to 6S with it. I wasn't going to move all the birds. I was going to leave my 3-inch drones. Well, I have one of 6S, but I was going to leave my 3-inch drones for 4S and move everything else up to 6S. And then this came along. Well, I can actually fly 6S with it if I tone down my throttle a little bit, like 20% on your throttle. Yeah. I read that if you tone that down, you can fly 6S on it. But I just what I want to do with that drone that I just showed you, I want to take it out just as is, put the right battery with it, and to see how it flies, and then do a review on it that way.
You haven't even flown it yet, huh?
Oh, I don't have Crossfire. So then every time I go to buy Crossfire, I need batteries. I break a drone, something happens.
So you can't fly that without Crossfire? You can't put an XM in it?
I can, but I don't want to change it because it's from the factory. Like I want to test it out from the factory as is.
Yeah.
And see how that flies compared to how my other drones have flown, and then do a review on it that way. I think it's going to be substantial. I think it's going to be excellent flying, very good response and stuff like that.
So the next question is when the hell are you getting Crossfire?
April. No, I'm sorry, March. Yeah, April or sooner.
Nice.
But I think it's April is when we planned on it. It's in the books for April.
So you're going to hook it up to your QX7?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, they have a mod that I actually got the mod from somebody, and I'm going to put the mod in, and then I'll put the receiver in on the other drones, and then the old receivers that I take off, I'm going to keep those for my other drones. And that way I always have the receiver in case, because every once in a while you lose a receiver or something happens.
Right. Yeah.
So
those Crossfire Nano receivers are pretty much indestructible, though. I mean, you're gonna love it, man. You're gonna love it.
I know. When I see how far people are going, what happens is it puts a limitation on me. But I'm stuck in my area where I can fly. This year, we are planning with New England drone pilots. We're planning. This is all guys that are locally to me within the New England states.
Yeah.
And, we're all planning trips throughout Massachusetts and other local towns to go. And we're going to sit there. We're going to put up a calendar. We were just talking about this. We're going to do a calendar and then put those days down. And so I'll be able to schedule a ride with somebody. You know what I mean? And we're going to fly at all these different areas, because me flying at the park is fine for practice. But I have to go other places. Like when I flew with the ship, this barge, I was all uncomfortable flying there. I'm like I couldn't get comfortable, and I'm like, it's either something wrong with the drone or it's me, and it was me. And then I end up landing in the ocean.
But another thing you're going to notice with the Crossfire is not only distance, but the latency. Your throttle response, you're going to be like, wow, holy shit.
Really?
I mean, you can be, how when you're a ways away from you can hear your motors.
Right.
When you hit your throttle, it seems like when you hit it, there's a delay. Like you hit it and then it's with Crossfire, it's almost immediate.
Well, it was funny when we were flying one of the last times. I had somebody flying a DJI over me, and I had a racing drone behind me, and I was trying to fly my drone, and I kept hearing their motors, and it was screwing me up big time. So I think I'm going to get one of the earplugs so I can hear the motors when it's far away. So you know what I mean. So kind of
right. Those I think you have to have. I think your receiver has to have or your something on your quad has to have a built-in microphone or something. I think it may be the receiver. I don't know. Right. All I know is if you get one of those earphones, it doesn't work unless you have something else on your quad.
Okay.
It's like an external microphone or something.
Sure. Sure. I know most of mine have a microphone. Either I think it's on the receiver or geez, I gotta think of that. A couple of mine have microphones, but I can't remember what board they were on.
Right. I don't remember anything about it. I've never tried it because I always fly alone, so I never really worried about it.
I fly alone.
Yeah, with nobody else.
Well, we dipped down to 9,800.
Christ, where the hell is everybody this morning? Sunday? They all sleeping in or what?
That's how it was in my last video, because I was coming out sporadically again. Like, it's just sometimes I feel like doing it. Other times, like, if I'm into it too much, I'm like, I don't feel like doing it,
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that tonight I get a few people. I'm going to push out a reminder later on, but we'll see what happens.
I see your live stream thing up.
Good.
On YouTube. It's still up there. It says for 8 o'clock tonight.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't even know what I was actually thinking about flying the Mavic today.
My wife's been pushing me to fly the Mavic, but it's been like 30 degrees. Maybe if it's 38 or 40 degrees, I'll fly. But when it starts getting to 30 degrees and you get wind chill and all that, it just takes the sex of life out of it,
Yeah, I know all about it, man. That's why I haven't flown in 3 months because it's miserable, it really is.
Yeah, you're like way worse temperature wise than I am. You're like
we haven't seen 15 degrees here in about 2.5 months.
Wow.
It's been freaking cold, man. And who wants to go outside and hold a QX7, and fly a drone when you can't focus. Right. You can't get your lines and you can't get your freestyle on because it's uncomfortable. It's grounds for crashing all day long.
And now the ground is hard.
Yeah. Either that or you end up like me a couple years ago and crash into a snowbank and you won't find your quad for about 6 months.
Hey, you still got it back, man.
Yeah, and it still works too.
That's awesome.
It's actually that first one right there, the very first one.
Well, I freaked out. I screwed up when I was trying to get my drone. I landed it and it bounced and it landed right next to the water. And I was looking at it from a few feet away, and I'm like, you know what? I'll just fly it over to me. And I screwed up, and it flipped right over and went underwater. And I went to go get it. It was in salt water. I pulled it out. It had seaweed on it. The shit was dripping off it.
Yeah.
I dried it off. I got home. I took rubbing alcohol. And I just kind of cleaned up some areas. I don't know if that's good or bad for it. I never heard anybody saying it was bad for it, but I figured it would just suck up and dry it up. And I hit it with a blow dryer, I plugged it in, and everything worked fine. But like a week later, all of a sudden one of my motor wires broke. And I was looking at it, it actually looks corroded almost. And next thing you know, over the next couple of days, 2 or 3 more wires popped off. And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
So at some point, I ended up taking it apart and like cleaning up everything and trying to dry it. But I used the same ends on the wire, and it looks kind of cruddy how it soldered. But I'm going to resolder everything, put new wires on.
Yeah.
Once I get this drone up and going, then I'll have my 2 main drones and I can work on it.
2-stroke me. What's good, brother? Impossible to hear the buzzer when it's in 2 feet of snow. Oh, I know all about it.
2-stroke was, hey, 2-stroke, I actually just reflashed that stack, the Acheon stack that I got from you. And I cleared it and then reflashed it, and it's working fine. So
Nice.
that was one of my first stacks that I put in. I put it in, it lasted me a while, and I ended up, I did something, and it was like all types of issues with it. And I thought it was junk, and I replaced it with another stack, and everything was fine. So I was like, oh, it's junk. And I went back and checked it, and it was getting information and talking to the flight controller, Betaflight was. And then, so I just said, the hell with it, I'm going to reflash it. I reflashed it. It works awesome. So now I get a spare stack. I get a couple spare flight controllers.
Awesome. You ever try that Impulse RC driver fixer thing?
Yes, a long time ago. I don't know what happened. I don't remember what happened with it, but I looked into it. I didn't end up using it, but I remember I looked into it.
I don't know exactly what it is it does, but I've had issues with boards before. And I've plugged it in and it'll find the flight controller, and for some reason it fixes it.
That's awesome.
But it doesn't always work for me.
Right.
I actually have I was gonna stop building another warp yesterday. And for some reason, this guy right here, I cannot get it to connect to Beta for the life of me. It'll start flashing,
Yeah.
and halfway through the flash, and it'll cancel out. So I hooked it up to the driver fixer, and it won't even find it. It's just a little tiny. It's a brushless that I wanted to put on this guy because it's got brushless motors on it. This one.
Nice.
It's for some reason I cannot get this FC to friggin' work.
That's one of my next projects, is a nice, decent whoop. I may end up trading somebody. I don't want to part with any of my drones. I did that. I broke them down a couple and stole the parts and put them on different frames. I wish I didn't. I wish I just left them and built them up. But I'm kind of an impatient person sometimes. So I end up ripping them apart. I'd like to keep them all and keep them all on the wall. You know what I mean? These are all different drones that I had, and I broke or did this. And just kind of like the history of me.
I'll start a build, and as soon as I get it done, I'm like, all right, now what? So then you're like, maybe if I just take that off and I can change it over, and you're constantly wrenching on these things, At least I am.
Well, I have a Brush 65, and I still have that. That was called Psychedelic, is what I named it. And then I changed the canopy and stuff like that. And that's fun to fly, but that's not like it's not fully set up. It's not turning right, or it needs a good tune. So
Right.
I think I'm going to do a brushless and build like either a 75 or an 85, and then tweak that so I can fly that indoors.
Yeah.
That way in indoors, I mean, that like my place and something bigger, you know what I mean? Like in a mall or something.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out who owns this mall that can give me permission to fly this drone. And we had a mall get flooded out a couple of years ago, and it's a huge mall. And now all the stores are empty. Everybody took their insurance money and left. And
Really?
the mall's been this giant place that just sits empty. And there's people that go in and fly, but they go in through this door that doesn't lock. That's breaking and entering here. If the right cop comes up to you. So I'm like, I want to fly in there so bad, but
the most they can do is give you a fine. I just go do it.
no, that's more than a fine if you walk into somebody's building and start flying.
Right.
Somebody works in your house.
I would do it.
I really want to. I don't even have to post it. I just want to fly in there and check it out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be super cool.
And this summer, I want to try out a parking garage.
Yeah.
I've never flown a parking garage. I like to fly that and see how that goes.
See, I don't have
Especially when you only have like 8 feet of height, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
8 feet on a throttle, you hit the throttle like that, that's 50 feet.
Yeah. See, I don't have none of that around me. All I have is little tiny stores and a gas station over on the corner. That's about it. And with sand pits and fields, and that's about it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't tell you too. I also I'm going to practice flying racing this summer.
Nice.
If I do okay at it, I already talked to the wife and stuff. I'm going to try to race in 2022. Like do actually sign up with a group and start like keeping track of what you're flying and where you're flying.
Yeah.
But I figured this year here, I'm going to get some, a buddy of mine wants to get it too, is like the hoops and the loops and stuff like that they go through. And I forget what you call it, but all the things that you go through when you're racing, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know, the best practice for that is to just try to keep gapping.
Exactly.
It's so hard for me I can't gap for shit. You know, I try it, but it's wicked hard, man. It really is. But that's what racing is all about.
It has to be tuned perfectly. You know what I mean? You really got to make sure it's right, set up right, whatever you're racing. Exactly. I talk to Corey Mano. Corey Mano races every year. I think this was the only year he hasn't raced because of COVID, and he loves racing. The kid's unbelievable, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. It ain't nothing I ever wanted to get into. I just want to friggin' freestyle, and that's it.
That's all I wanted to do since I've started. And then it was last year also, and I'm like, I really want to try racing, I think, when I was watching how good they control that drone.
Oh,
I mean, they go on that full throttle and they come through the hoop and then they turn right around, go back, go under it. And then, because each position of each hoop means you do a certain thing.
Yeah.
Whether you go up and go through it, whether you go around and come back in and go up to the top or drop down.
A lot of them will go through the bottom, come up and do like a real quick split S and come back down. That's incredible, man. That's
freestyle,
incredible.
I'll never leave. I just really enjoy it because I don't like the constraints. I can do whatever I want, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're into trucks now. That's the big thing, too.
Yeah.
Trucks and buggies.
Just got done building that TRX4. But
That
this one,
you should show it to us.
I just painted this one the other day.
Oh, it's so cool. That's bad. Yeah. Oh, it's green.
Yeah.
A grayish green. That looks really good. And the paint's on the inside, really, right?
Right. Yeah. I got Hadley's famous FPV on the front.
Nice. Hadley's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. I like him. He's a nice guy.
And then I just got done building this crawler. This is the one I sent you a picture of. Right there.
That is so cool.
That guy. But I think I'm going to take all of this back stuff off because it's just added weight.
Right.
I'm just going to run it as a pickup truck, you know. But this was
really good, man.
Thanks, man.
I like how you have the roof rack too.
Yeah. This was wicked fun to build, man. It really was.
My buddy just bought a buggy, my buddy Hawkeye, and he was doing like 50, 60 miles an hour in this parking lot, and they hit the throttle, full throttle, and it was like riding a wheelie. And I'm like, wow, the power on that. And it stayed going for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, this thing's gonna need a wheelie bar on the back of it because this is only a 2-wheel drive truck. This thing will do about 50 miles an hour.
Nice. Yeah, I'll definitely need one.
It's a freaking beast.
That's pretty cool. And
it's not even a brushless. That's just a brushed, you know. If I change that over to brushless, the thing would do like freaking 60 miles an hour. But yeah, I just figured I'd try something different in the off season to try to keep myself busy,
I tried playing my liftoff, and I can't get my controller to sync up with the liftoff. And I was flying it. I had the same problem, and then I found out you had to go into a certain area and shut off a controller.
Yeah.
And then it would automatically linked it. Ever since that, and it was fine. I've played it a bunch of times. Then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, it stopped, and now I can't get it to work.
Mine did that too. Just
Really?
a couple weeks ago, it wouldn't hook up. It wouldn't recognize my QX7,
Right.
and it was
Same
working
here.
fine the same day earlier. So I went into who was it? Chris MD95 TSI.
Yep.
He has a video on how to reconnect your QX7 to. There's a couple of settings that you go through.
Right.
He checked that video out, and it probably might help you.
All right. Yeah, I was talking to my wife today. I said, yesterday, I said, today I'm going to focus on getting my liftoff back up again. Because I had such a hard time at first, but then when I set the controller and all my settings and I got it set up like how it's supposed to fly, it flew really good, like you were flying a real drone, And I was like, wow, that is pretty cool, because all of a sudden it's not like just reacting. It's like I had control over it. I'm like, I got to use this more often.
Yeah. I know. I love it. It's really cool. It feels like the real thing,
Two-stroke usually, yeah.
I think he left. There's only two of us in here, and that's probably me and you, right?
That's a possibility.
I think we've only had one person come in this whole time. Oh, someone else just popped in. Hey, who's in here?
What's happening?
Don't be so quiet, man.
We're going to pick the name out of the next person, one of the next 20 people that come in, and we're going to give away $500,000 cash.
That's right. I'll even throw in another $500,000. What the hell?
So we'll do a morning million.
Yeah.
Coffee and a morning million.
Who wants to be the first person to win $1 million?
Come on. Who wants to win $1 million today?
They don't want to. They just left.
Okay, we're going to keep the money.
No, we're full of crap. Yeah, right. I don't know. I usually when I was doing live streams before, I used to get Hadley and Mike and Centroid. Roger and Kim would stop in. Drone Pool Dan, Dano from I'll Be Droned used to stop in. Brad Americanaut would stop in. They must all be either sleeping or at church.
I did a few shows, and it was funny. I was looking at the numbers on my videos, and I don't get a whole lot of videos. I get a couple of videos that go 100 and something, 200 views, and then most of them end up being around 60 people like what viewed it. Which I don't know how, like, what I'm doing wrong about getting out there. But anyways, so I was going to say something about that. I put out this video. I was just putting together. I didn't fly that week, and I had a video where I got into an argument with somebody. And it wasn't even me. It was more of the person came out saying he didn't want me flying there. He said it was private property. I said, okay, I'll leave. And then he came at me and was really talking aggressively. So, and I told him, I said, listen, I go, I'm going to leave, but you need to back off, and you need to shut it down a little bit. And he goes, you don't tell me what to do. I go, I just did. And all of a sudden I snapped, and I'm like, I just fucking did. What are you going to do about it, right? He goes, I'm going to call the cops. I'm like, fuck them. I go, call the cops then, right? Yeah. So anyways, I was like, it's kind of funny. It was my only real negative. Well, I've had two negative situations while flying drones now. One was down at the beach when that guy came up and said I was flying over his family. And I was flying over the beach in the water, but I was like 30 feet up, 20 feet up.
Yeah.
I'm flying over people, and you know what I mean? It's like, I have better things to do. Yeah. So all of a sudden, 8 hours, I had over 200 hits on it.
Really?
I'm like, oh, because I had an argument with somebody. I was laughing. I'm like, this is the most I got with in a short period of time.
That's the thing, dude, is because people love drama.
Right. Well, I
That's it.
didn't put that. I just said angry neighbor. And then as soon as I put angry neighbor, it was like, it's now, it went up to 200, just under 300 likes.
Yeah.
And then I forgot my granddaughter watches it too. So I was asked by family to take it down because they think it shows the old side of me. Which it wasn't that long ago, but so I took it down. But yeah, it was almost just under 300 views.
Nice. I remember when I first got my Mavic, I was having a hard time getting the gimbal to connect to the iPad. It would not do it.
Right.
And I was freaking out because I just paid $800 for this drone.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You were not a happy camper.
I finally figured it out, and I made a video, and that thing's got like 3,500 views right now.
Wow. How many?
And I've got it's got like 33,400 and something.
Wow.
And that was 2 years ago.
Wow.
And dude, I'm still getting comments on it to this day from people all over the world. Oh my God, that helped me so much. Thank you so much,
Yeah, that's true. Especially if you're new to it and you get, what I mean, somebody's answering your question right then and there.
Right.
That's excellent. Good for you, man.
I'm thinking it was probably had something to do with just formatting the SD card, because some of those SD cards, when you first buy them, have trash on them, and then they need to be
formatted. You have to format. I didn't format a couple of SD cards and they worked and one didn't. Yeah. One was like, it was just, I couldn't fix it. I tried to give my son's like, just throw it out. And I'm like, why? I go, just fix it. And he's like, I can't.
Yeah.
He goes, it's corrupt. And I'm like, how do you get corrupt? See him with a gun and a face mask. I'm a corrupt disc.
Yeah, right.
You know what? One that I'm confused of, and I knew I looked it up before when I first got my drone a couple of years ago on the Mavic Pro, was the Wi-Fi and RC switch next to the SD card. I forgot what that's, and I know it's for Wi-Fi, but mine set on RC. I thought that's what you leave it on, but I couldn't, and I haven't looked up why. But why did you switch for that?
Because you use the lightning cable.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep.
And if you use the Wi-Fi, you have to use the on-screen control.
Right.
There's like two switches, one here and one here, and you got to use your phone. And it's garbage. It's garbage.
Yeah, that's good. I do remember that now.
Always keep it on RC and always connect your lightning cable. What do you use, iPad?
Yes.
Yeah, see, just connect that right to your controller, and it's called OcuSync.
Right.
And that'll get you out there. Like, well, you've got the Max mod too, so that'll get you out there 6 friggin' miles.
I did go some distance fairly recently, and I was really floored. I couldn't believe how far out. When I was at like 20,000 inches, I realized that's pretty far out. I'll just say inches.
Dude, I haven't even had mine out probably just about a mile.
Right. And I don't really fly much, except for when I fly over the ocean.
Hey, Asgard Studios.
What's up, my man?
Asgard Studios, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming in.
Well, Hugh, we're just wrapping it up. No, I'm only kidding, man.
I've already been here for an hour.
Hugh is actually just getting into FPV now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got a drone. I think he's got a setup going right now. I don't know what's your setup, Hugh, for the FPV. He's definitely addicted to the FPV.
Good.
Because he's already got the bug where he's buying shit and he's like, I want this, I want that, I want this,
Yeah. That's awesome. It's easy to get hooked, man.
Oh, wicked. And if you get a blank credit card, get rid of it.
He's got the
That goes quick.
Explorer.
Well, it was funny because I said it during one of my videos. One day, my wife and I were like getting ready for bed or something like that. And she goes, "So how many drones do you have?" Because I had them on a baker's rack in my room, and it was all organized, nice and neat. It looked really good. It's a pain in the ass that I have to take all my tools and move them back and forth. So I'm like, why you asking me that? And she starts going over counting them, and I stop her, right? I go, I have 5, including my DJI Maverick, my DJI GPS drone. And she's like, no, it looks like there's more than 5. And she starts counting them. I'm like, stop. I go, you're not going to control me. I go, each one of those drones is for a different flight.
FPV, what's good, man? Thanks for coming in.
I'm an FPV junkie.
FPV junkie. I think we're all FPV junkies, man.
Well, what's happening, sir?
You could say I'm an FPV junkie. I'm a drone junkie, period, man.
Oh, I'm the same way. I think I'm one of the only ones that's crashed multiple DJI drones. That's why I got the Master Crasher.
Hey,
I tell you, now that I know how to fly FPV, and I'm getting better. I got better this year. This year here, I'm gonna just put the time in, and get the stick time. I'm so happy, man. I love it.
You know what I think I'm gonna do is, I already told myself this, is when I go out, I'm gonna bring my expo up to like 0.30, maybe even 0.40.
Wow.
And I am gonna try so hard to get smooth can be, because I'm always so jittery and stuff, and sometimes some of my builds aren't as smooth as I want them to be.
Right.
But I'm gonna try to work on that with my sticks, try to just get real smooth lines and just flow. And just I gotta slow down a little bit is what I gotta do.
I got like 20 full working quad. Actually, I'm the same way because we haven't been flying. All my drones fly except for one. And what it is it's a 16 by 16 board on a 2.5 inch or 2-inch drone. It's so small when my hand's shaking because I have a neurological issue that causes my hands to shake. So when I try to slaughter in that area, it's like you just go like that and you hit 3 tabs, you know what I mean? It's like,
right. CarPass got like 20 fully working quads.
Well, that's what everybody has. All their quads are working because they haven't been flying. Everybody fixed all their down quads, Yeah. I'm still waiting for my quad. I am flying a Velocity drone a couple hours a day. Nice. Yeah, we were just talking about liftoff.
That's the way to go. If you can't get outside, get on the sim, man, because it's exactly like it's the same experience in my opinion.
I told you I can't get my sim hooked up now. My Betaflight doesn't match. I mean, my whatever it is.
You'll figure it out, man. Go on and check Chris's video.
I definitely will check. Chris helps me out. Chris has helped me out over the years, anyways, and he's a good guy.
The thing is, Crowley, it's not just you, because Chris made that video for a reason.
Right. Oh, he actually made the video?
Yeah, it's his video.
Oh, okay.
He points this camera like right at his computer screen, and he shows you step by step what settings to check, on your computer, because a lot of times it has to do with you just may have gotten the wrong driver for the QX7. It just something in there just has to be changed real quick, and you're good to go.
Right. See, it wasn't. I had this computer, so it wasn't changing the computer because I changed it before. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. I will definitely check them out.
Oh yeah,
because that would be so much fun just being able to sit here and fly because I have the time.
Yeah. I got it. The cool thing is I don't use it. I don't get 2 or 3 hours a day on it, right. But it's there if I want to play it.
Exactly.
And now I finally got a laptop that it will actually keep up with the graphics on it. So the last laptop I had was trash and it was like glitchy.
Well, we have a laptop. My son passed away like a few years ago.
Right.
And I kept his video games and stuff like that, some things just to But we kept his laptop, and my wife was going to use that, and just it never happened. It just ended up being a thing that we just have stashed away. I think I'm going to use that, or I'm going to get the Speedy Bee and then use my phone so I can do it on the change. And I know I can change it in my goggles, but I think using the phone, it would be a lot more manageable for me to make changes and understand what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that way I can do it on the fly while I'm flying, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Sims are good. I wanted to try Liftoff, but Stream would not install on my old Mac. Okay. Yeah, I had Liftoff. I had a hard time getting it set up, and then I got it set up. I flew for a few hours, and then I went back to it, and it just didn't work. Nothing, it wouldn't recognize it. I thought it was my cord, and they have that old cord.
Yeah.
It's like a weird, it's a weird shape. It's almost square, but it's like square like this.
Yeah, it's the micro USB. The mini. It looks like that right there.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's what I need.
Yeah.
And none of the stores have it.
Go to a hardware store.
Really?
Yeah. If your hardware store has electronics, more than likely they're going to have that cable, because that's where I got mine.
Well, that's what I planned on getting out today, trying to find it. So we'll see what happens. I can buy it online, but they want like crazy money for it. It's like $20 or something. I'm like,
yeah, this one was like $6.99 or something.
Yeah, they're usually $5 or $6.
Yeah.
How's the wife doing?
Who?
Your wife, Amy?
Oh, good. She's doing great. She's actually at work right now.
You really like this new job, huh?
Oh, dude, I love it.
Good for you, man.
It's killing me to be out of work right now, but I'm getting paid for it. It's like a sick paid time off. And but I told my boss I don't want to be out of work, because I honestly really do, Sean, love my job.
Right.
It's just it was an incredible opportunity handed to me, and I couldn't be any more thankful.
Carpath likes the DRL. Oh, DCL, he wrote. What's DCL?
Drone Champions League. Drone Racing
League. Oh, maybe it's a different one.
I got Liftoff. It's the only one. I got one too called Orca FPV Racing.
Yeah.
But there's only like 2 tracks on it, and it's it's all right. But I like Liftoff the best. It's freaking great.
Yeah, it seemed like it was more my speed, anyways, and I played it. I liked it. It's just I had such a hard time at first, and then.
Right.
Now, can you use your goggles?
I think you can. There's a way that you can hook up through HDMI.
Well, really? Yeah, because they have the HDMI cable that's there.
Yeah, there's a way you can.
That's pretty cool.
Actually, the Orca one runs good on my computer.
Really?
Yeah.
Anybody that has Orca, they say good things. I was curious about trying it, but I got nervous, and I know Fat Shack's been around, and I just went with Fat Shack's.
Yeah.
They're pretty simple to use,
Yeah, you can fly them with your Fat Shocks. You just go through HDMI or something and it works great. What are you up to today, Crowley?
Yep, you can fly with your Fat Shacks. Nice. I like DCL PS4 controller sucks. I was really fighting with it. Just HDMI output right to your computer. Nice. Thank you, Carpath. I was curious about that. Today, there's something I was going to do today. I'm going to do the show tonight at 8 for the 10,000 people watching.
Right.
I'm going to do the show at 8 tonight.
Well, you got to keep your people happy, man.
Exactly. Well, I haven't done a show in a month now. And before that, I did like 3 weeks of the show. And I've been really sporadic. But not flying, I don't have a whole lot to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So,
well, that's it with me. Is just I'm just trying to kill time while I'm out of work. I don't have much to talk about because, to be honest with you, I haven't been flying.
yeah.
I haven't been. I haven't flown, and I think my last video was like close to 3 months ago.
Wow.
And
Boom, I'm a pickle. Boom, I'm a pickle.
And I tell you, I'm starting to feel it too.
I'm gonna finish up the my workbench, and then oh yeah, my granddaughter's coming over. I feel bad. My granddaughter's moving away, and
Oh,
it's
really?
she's moving like several states away. It's like she's my little bud.
Really?
Yeah, it really sucks. We do FaceTime a lot. Some FaceTime. And,
I don't know. I don't think I showed you, Crowley, but my youngest daughter had a little girl.
Oh, congratulations, man! She's like fully alert.
She's December, January, February. She'll be almost 4 months old.
Wow! Congratulations, man.
Thanks, man. She's a little peanut.
Yeah, she's 11, and she's just awesome, you know. But she's at the age where her friends are very important to her, you know.
She's the same age as my niece. My niece just turned 11.
And if they want to do something with their friends, you are no longer priority.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That doesn't matter anymore.
So I didn't adjust well to that, but I understand.
Yeah.
So today we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna do whatever she wants, play some video games. We're gonna fly my whoop. She's gonna fly the whoop with goggles in the house.
Nice.
So first I'm gonna have her fly it just to see how it is flying, and then if she wants to, she can use the goggles.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, and then I'm gonna give her that because hopefully we'll have another whoop within the next few months.
Yeah.
And then I can use that for indoor stuff.
That's great.
Yeah, I set up my drones where I have some, not necessarily not long range, but ones that I can go out there a distance, and then I have some small, like under 250 grams that I'll just have, and then I have the whoops for indoors. So
Yeah.
it works out pretty well. But I'd like to get a little bigger woof than a 65, so I can fly it outdoors if I want to. Or I was thinking the Mobular again, but there's some nice whoops out there.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of nice drones out there.
Yeah, there is. There certainly is.
Boom! I'm a pickle. Oh my god.
Well, man, I guess I'm probably gonna freaking shut it down and go try to do something, whether it's right or wrong.
Shut it down.
I have no idea. Well, I think I'm gonna charge up some Mavic batteries.
Nice. Yeah, I did that day before yesterday just to have a couple batteries charged so I can go out there.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do that because there's a lot of people out on the lake right now riding their snowmobiles and stuff.
Right.
Maybe I'll go down on the lake, try to get some pictures of something to do, man. I got to fly something.
Right.
I'm going nuts.
Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Guys, it was good to see you guys. Ask Cop Path, Two Stroke. Thank you guys for coming in.
You know, there were so many people in here. I can't.
Yeah, it's going to take you an hour just to close out. So it's easier just to close it and say, okay, done.
Everybody that came in, I know at one point we had 14,562 people.
Yeah, actually, it was 63 because that other guy came on and he popped out real quick. So
that's right. Oh, that's right. He dropped that link and then he split. So
yep, he dropped the link and he took off. And now I think you're down to 6,200 people because they know we're closing. So don't forget tonight, 8 o'clock, Mr. Crowley and Mr. Owen.
If I'm awake, man, I'm gonna stop over.
Yeah, definitely stop by to say hi. Just say hi.
I definitely will.
All right.
You have a good day, man, and we'll catch you later. Crash on.
You too, bro. Be good. Crash off.